I'm Amy, this is Living in Chrysalis, and have some stuff to show you, so let's get to it. A very frustrating thing about living in my area, which tends to be very small cities and villages and farmland kind of scattered around, is while we do have a shopping mall and a central shopping district sort of thing, there the the large department stores have been fleeing. So at this point we have JCPenney, which has a Sephora, thank goodness, or I might hurt myself. We've got Ulta in a strip mall. There's Kohl's in a strip mall. And Burlington, which I always forget about. I never remember to go there. So yeah, as far as major shopping options, I don't have it, but I'm a lot better off than some of my YouTube. Let's see. I know the proper term is brethren. I really wish there were something for the ladies. Sisterin? I don't know. It doesn't work. But at any rate, I have become a TJMaxx stalker. I am there at least 3 times a week, and that's on a slow week. It's kind of crazy. So the upsides of TJMaxx, of course, are that the prices are a discount, some of them better than others. The selection can be so random, which I actually really enjoy. I've gotten things at TJMaxx that I would never see in any store around here. So I've really been enjoying that. And I think that's part of why I stalk it so much, is because they're getting new things in all the time. It's so random. And, you know, it's just very enjoyable for me. One brand that I never heard of that I discovered at TJMaxx is called Crop Cosmetics. And I discovered them through this little item. It's an all-natural brand. Let's see, designed in Australia, made in Italy. This is a duo baked highlighter, and I actually really love to take. I have one of those scoop brushes, so I'll do the pointy end on this and this, and then it'll be like a sort of a highlighter and blush topper. And I just started playing around and discovered that concept. I really like it. I love this. And once I found this and started playing around with it, then I decided to start stalking the brand. So I went on another website, and a lot of the cosmetics that I'm from their line that I'm seeing in TJMaxx, I don't see on their website anymore. So I'm thinking they may have contracted their line somewhat. I did see an eyeshadow quad in the color, I think it's called Natural, that is at TJMaxx, but I don't want it, so I didn't get it. And I've got a couple other things. A bronzer. I haven't been a bronzer person, but I think I'm going to play around with it in a bit, so I thought I would go ahead and get a couple inexpensive ones to play with. This one's called Solaire, and I like the tone. So that'll be fun to play with. I'm going to experiment with it, and if I decide I don't like it, well, okay, it was $4. I'm not going to cry. Then I just got a finishing powder in the color Light. Again, made in Italy. Basic finishing powder. Thought it would be worth a go. I have seen more Crop Cosmetics popping up in TJMaxx. I've seen a mascara. I've seen, I think maybe an eyebrow pencil, maybe an eyeliner. I saw a couple of lip balm crayons in different colors. I almost bought, but I decided not to because I've got 3 products from this brand, and and it's not like I can even necessarily recommend that you buy them anywhere but TJMaxx, because I don't think Crop Cosmetics is selling them anymore. I could be mistaken, especially on the, you know, the only other place I've seen this is Poshmark. For the other two powders, I'll look it up before I post this, but at this point I'm not so sure that these are even available other than at TJMaxx or Poshmark or something like that. Some of my favorite Smashbox finds are actually these color correcting sticks. Yes, I have 3. Well, actually I have 4 because I bought a backup of the lavender one. As I use this quite a bit, I've got some, I have some sallowness, especially right in here, that I like to correct. Then this one is the Look Less Tired Light. And this is just to hit those deeper spots under there, and also kind of in here for the color correcting. This one is Get Less Red. It's green. This one I use occasionally if my nose gets a little red. I'll put a little bit on and do that. Oh, what's the proper name of the lavender one now? That is Don't Be Dull. Okay. Very cute. More Smashbox. This one is a see, look, I have 2. That is my lighted makeup mirror, and then this is a little portable clamp-on ring light that my brother-in-law sent to me because he's awesome and generous. Oh, look, hey, there I am. Okay. But this one is the Smashbox LA Lights Blush and Highlight Palette in Pacific Coast Pink. So this third color here is a highlighter. I'm more likely to use it as a blush topper, although I guess it's quite pink. So we'll see. But the other 2 colors are certainly worth it, and this was made in the USA, baby, which I appreciate. Now the Anastasia blush palettes are actually made in the PRC, and at a $30 retail price, I was not thrilled with that. And at one point, I was actually comparing the Smashbox and the Anastasia, and the color stories were pretty similar, so I decided to go with the good old made in the USA Smashbox. However, when I was looking for an exact tonal match for something, in Ulta, actually, I was in Ulta with my girlfriend, and I was swatching out different blushes, and this color is a tonal match. So when I looked at the palette, at the tester palette name, Pool Party, wait a minute, I've seen that at TJMaxx. We left Ulta and drove down to TJMaxx, which we had already been in that day and just spent some money, and bought this. And while I went for the tonal match for this, I also really appreciate this color. This is called Blank, but it is a cool brown color. And as you can see, I do have occasions for cool browns. Warm browns aren't so great on me, but a cool brown actually looks really nice on me. So I am thrilled to have this bad boy. The jury's out on this color. I haven't really messed with it yet, but you know, even if it's the 2, fine, whatever. Packaging is pretty. I'm just disappointed that for such an expensive product, it's made in the PRC. This is the Bare Minerals finishing veil, excuse me, in just their regular color, their translucent regular thing. I adore this packaging. I think this was from a couple years ago, their holiday release, but I prefer this even to the last year's and this year's. So I'm so glad I got this. And yes, of course, I went down to Ulta and tested the powder after I bought this, but before I opened it. Because yes, that's me. I did that with my Smashbox eyeshadows. I did that with anything I possibly could. I would go to one of the stores and test out what I just bought to make sure I like it before I crack into it and can't return it. But yeah. And I fully intend, once I use this up, to just refill it because this packaging is stunning. I got this for $10. I'm going to have to look up the price, but $10, dude. This is stunning. Cargo Cosmetics again. I got one of the tin blushes in the color Tonga. It is sort of a dusty, light, mauvey pink color. I got this because while I have some mauvey tones, this one is lighter, and I thought that would be a nice addition to my collection. I know, it's so weird to say collection because it's not like because with makeup, generally we use it up. It's not like, you know, Pokemon cards or something where we just, you know, collect them and curate them and all that. But we use it. At least I hope we do. So, but in lieu of a better word and the fact that everybody and their sister uses the word collection, I will do so too. But it's kind of hard for me to consider my makeup as a collection. At my sort of home mixed with different foundations and different samples, but my foundation I have in a little tin is starting to run low, so I started to think about buying foundation. Then I ran across these in TJMaxx. This is Elizabeth Arden. Flawless finish, perfectly nude. Now, it tends to be more toward the light, you know, toward the light to medium if you just do a layer or two, but it is buildable. And let's see, while it does have an SPF sunscreen, I'm not necessarily going to count on that as my only sunscreen because I'm not entirely sure how old this is. This is the shade Linen, and I did actually buy a backup for this. Why? Because it was like $8. And come on, it's hard to even find drugstore foundation for $8. So yeah, snagged a couple of those. I also have the CoverGirl Ultra Smooth Hair Smoothing Foundation and Applicator. The original one was gifted to me. I don't even remember how, but you know, it wasn't any promotional anything. But it comes with this little plastic, or excuse me, silicone thing to distribute it and smooth down your hairs. Actually, it works okay. I prefer in general to use the silicone things to just distribute and then use a brush to buff it in. But I feel that way with any foundation, liquid foundation. But yeah, it's nice enough. And I did buy a second one at TJMaxx, which is why even though this one isn't from TJMaxx, my backup is. So, okay. And I think that was, either $1 or $3 on clearance. Yeah. Then I've got the Lock-It Concealer and Corrector from She Who Shall Not Be Named. And this is just light 16. I mix this with other concealer products and kind of make my own mash. But I did get this at TJMaxx. I don't remember for how much, but it must have been cheap. And this was before I stopped supporting the brand altogether. Typically, I don't like cream products as far as blushes. I also don't really care for any lip product that you have to use with an applicator rather than just the bullet lipstick. I mean, I have some liquid lipsticks, but that type of application isn't necessarily my favorite. But long before my channel, I bought this. Butter London. It is a cheeky cream blush, but you can also apparently use it on your lips, supposedly. This was made in the USA. The color is called Piccadilly Circus. It's really pretty. I need to use this more. It's weird because the back doesn't say lip, but I specifically remember seeing lip on the outer packaging, but the outer packaging is long gone. I also have the Lorac the Lorac highlighter. This is from their I Love I love Brunch Line. This particular color is called Limelight, which is a very pale green. But, I'm starting to do the upspeak. But this is an absolutely beautiful highlighter. So, very happy about this. This was $4. This is $4. I'd actually, I think I had to put it on hold, an overnight hold, because I didn't have any cash on me at the time. So I put one on hold. There were 7 or 8 on the shelf. I came back the next day, paid for my hold, tried it, loved it, came back the following day looking for a backup, and all the ones on the shelf were gone. They were all gone. So I count myself kind of lucky I got this. This is the Stila Got Inked Cushion Eyeliner in Amethyst ink. This is kind of interesting because it's got that little cushion and you dip your brush in. I will sometimes use this as an eyeliner topper. For instance, if I put on a black eyeliner, but I just want it a little more purple, I'll use this as a topper more than an eyeliner in and of itself. And I bought this well before I had the channel, so I don't know. This is made in Korea. I assume that it is, in fact, South Korea. The ROK rather than the PRK. Probably the biggest surprise / shock that I've gotten at TJMaxx is when they have Kevyn Aucoin products. They don't even stock them in my local, Sephora and JCPenney. Apparently that's just too bougie for my market area. So I was delighted to find the Sensual Skin Powder Foundation in PF03. It is pale. It is beautiful. One thing that kind of is a bit of a head scratcher is this packaging is the same as the Tom Ford packaging. Why? Really, guys? Come on. All right. So, yes, this is bougie. It even comes in a little bougie velveteen pouch. So, yay. To get to the tax bracket where this ain't even a thing would be nice. Why? Because I would be so good at being wealthy. All right. I also have the Kevyn Aucoin Pure Powder Glow blush in Helena, which is a rose color. Oh, pretty basic. Oops. Pretty basic, pretty bougie. But this especially is the sort of thing where if I need an extra boost of confidence, especially for a job interview or something like that where I just really want to feel on my game, I would whip out the bougie stuff. It's the right kind of color for it, and also there is a little boost you get, or at least I get, from products that are beautifully packaged and beautifully done and that I know are not cheap. I grew up with a lot of cheap in my life, and I'm not a fan. I did also pick up a Milani eyeliner to try. I haven't even broken it out of the package yet, but this is Fixed on Plum. Love purple eyeliners. Come on, I have chestnut brown eyes. Of course I love purple. Thank you so much for going through my TJMaxx stash with me. And of course, as always, if you haven't already, subscribe.